This is definitely the cheapest bike in the pro field. So all we got is a Gitaru CD 0.1 from 2012, I think it was built. This was once my dream bike, but that was when I was starting out triathlon, and now it's pretty old. Um, yeah, I bought this secondhand for £750 with a nice pair of wheels at the time. That's actually one of the wheels, a different tyre now. So let's go through it just briefly. Uh, Chain rings, I've both put on separate uh, added, added ones. There's a 58 tooth on the outside. The inside is a 49, I think. It can't be an odd number, can it? I think it's 49. And then I've got my Asioma power pedals. Um, da, da, da. This is a front derailleur that I've put spacers for, so I think it's the original Dura-Ace front derailleur, but you can see here that's from Watchshop, a 3D printed block, and I've mixed that with some Spanish company's spacer solution that they've got. I can't remember what it's called, and I managed to use them both to make it work with a 58 tooth, because this frame normally doesn't accommodate that, and that's meant I've been able to keep using the places where you put the derailleur on normally. Still the same seat post, this is a saddle that I've used the whole time in triathlon, ISM Adamo, I want to say something 1.0. It's just about narrow enough, it's a little bit wide, but yeah, sit bones on there. Then at the front, this is still the Vision base bar that came with the bike. One thing that's a bit of a shame is that I can't angle up the extensions without angling up the base bar, so I'm kind of compromising here, and I reckon that aerofoil shape isn't too bad angled at that much. And if anything, if a bit of wind gets deflected downwards, that's only a good thing. Get away from the knees. Now it looks a bit messy up here. I've got this Profile Design bottle, aero bottle thing. I think it's about a litre. Used that for Hawaii, it was quite useful. So what you can do is you stick a bottle from the aid station into that and then just squeeze it and fill it up. And then you can't put all of the water from there, so you can put the rest back here in one of the two bottle cages. I've got two different kinds of cage just so that the type of bump that knocks one bottle out isn't going to knock the other bottle out as well. But I'm going to probably lose some anyway on this course. Unfortunately, this looks pretty ugly. That's my tubular, because the back wheel, this Planet X here, this is my deepest rim that's not a disc, and it's tubular. I could have used the disc for this course probably quite safely, but actually the cassette on my disc wheel is completely stuck to it. I can't remove it, and so it's worn out, and it's actually probably losing me some power. So I think this is my fastest rear wheel I've got. Planet X isn't the most expensive brand or anything, but it does the job well. And I've got a Corsa Speed tubular on here, and that's what this is as well, the spare. This one's actually better used. I've had it on the rollers a lot, so it's got really warm, and it's not worn out, but it's very stretchy and quite easy to put on if I have a flat. Then the front wheel, the Reynolds that came with the bike. These are both carbon rims, so I've got the carbon-friendly brake pads. And this front wheel is a Corsa Speed as well, but obviously a clincher. I think this one's a 23mm. This one's a 25. You can see it looks a bit thicker. I think that's sensible as well. I have the slightly wider one on the back compared to the front, because the back has more weight, and for the front, the aerodynamics may be slightly more important than for the back. Yeah. Then this is the DHB branded Prime Aero bottle. It's not the biggest, but it's all right, and I reckon the shape isn't too much of an aerodynamic penalty. It's definitely better for it to be on this side of the frame rather than here. And if there's a crosswind, then it's probably not bad at all, because you can get the wind coming straight through here instead. Then up here at the front, I've had to find somewhere to put the spares. So I've got my inner tube, I've got two CO2 canisters, the CO2 releaser thingy, and tyre levers. Under this baggy thing, we've got a stem that's only available from a company in New Zealand, because it's 190mm long, and that's because I realised only maybe a year or two ago that this frame is a bit small for me really. I like to be quite forward over the bottom bracket, and then so that I don't get shoulder strain and so that it's more aerodynamic, it's better to have the front further forward, and so I needed that special stem added instead of forking out on a whole new bike. And it's still legal. If you hold the camera at an actual vertical angle, then it is, the extensions don't go past the front of the front wheel, which is a new rule that IRONMAN has to stop people being ridiculous. And here I've made a little mount for a watch. Normally I just wear a watch on my wrist, but it's going to be annoying to twist my wrist all the time, and I don't want to wear a watch for the swim this time, so I'm just going to put it on the bike, and hopefully remember to take it off when I start the run. Then for this race, we've got Race Ranger, because it's a pro race, because it's a pro series race actually. I'm not sure if all the IRONMAN pro races this year have it. So this thing will catch any drafters, and it'll also catch me if I do any drafting. Then that's pretty much all we got to say. Obviously it's still a rim brake. You can see cables everywhere as well for the gears, so I'm not on electronic shifting yet. If I try and add up what everything cost, it's probably over 1,000 just about, but if I was to try and sell this today, I don't know, it would need a very specific buyer to want to get it, so it's probably worth less than £1,000. Yeah, so that's how I'm going to race pro on a budget. Just did a little 20-minute spin, but I thought I'd say what's in the bottles as well, what I'm putting on the bike. Actually start with the non-nutrition stuff. I don't have a wax chain, but it's quite a fresh one. It's only raced Hawaii, and then it's been on the turbo for about 2 weeks and done maybe 20 hours or so, so I think the chain's still fresh enough. And I'm putting this UFO drip that I got from Hawaii from Ceramic Speed, thanks very much. And that'll be good enough for the standards of this bike. Then for the nutrition side, I've already showed you what's in the spares kit over there, but yeah, nutrition. So first thing, the front aero bottle here, I'll start with that filled up pretty much all the way, and most of that will be this. I just bought this from the expo because traveling with a heavy pouch of maltodextrin isn't great if it's going to push you over the weight limit. I managed to stay under the weight limit, so I bought this, and this is just fructose and maltodextrin, so there's no salt in it, but I got that with some precision hydration sachets. Normally in training I use their tabs, which are just the effervescent little circles, but this one has sugar in as well, which is a little bit helpful for hydration probably, and then I have some faster absorbing glucose as well as the maltodextrin and fructose in there. So yep, so I'm going to start with putting this and that in the front bottle, and also I'll put 2 bottles at the back here, both half full with this stuff. Half full because I'm probably going to lose at least one of them quite quickly to a speed bump, and maybe with half full bottles they might be less likely to fly out as well if you think about the physics of it being pushed out. So yeah, I'll start with that, and because this is quite concentrated, I'm obviously going to figure out the ratios for these and do it properly. I don't need it to be particularly salty at the start of the bike. I won't be sweating a huge amount yet, but I will want a lot of carbs quickly on the bike. Not because I need them, because I barely use carbs in training, but after that swim, you know, your blood glucose will be low and your lactate will be high, so it'll take some time to build up the fat burning, and so you'll need extra. It's better to have extra carbs, front load it on the bike, and then taper off the carbs at the end of the bike. So yeah, front bottle with that, 2 rear bottles with some of that, and as those run out, then at the aid stations I'll grab their just their precision hydration water, so there's no carbs in it, it's just the effervescent tablets that I use in training, and I'll squeeze those into these, and then I'll be aware that these bottles, well, I'll squeeze that into there, because you can do that, you have their little special thing at the front where you can squeeze straight in, and then I'll be aware that my bottles don't have any carbs in anymore, and then I have to well, I'll be taking a few Morton gels on the course where it's easy to do so, but I'm not relying on them at all, because I'm putting cane sugar syrup in that thing there. So this is a relatively aero bottle. It's much better that it's on here than on the down tube, and I reckon if you look at the profile, that's not bad at all. That's by DHB. They don't make this anymore, but it was only I think 25 quid for 2 of these. Yeah, so that'll just be sugar syrup, and I'll pretty much fill that up, and I'll make sure I know how much is in it, so I know how much I'm taking. But I'll basically take that to feel, especially towards the start of the bike, where I don't necessarily want to have too much fluid, assuming I'm not sweating a lot, and then I can sort of do the hydration to thirst and do the carbs just through the syrup. Obviously, it's not perfect. It's 50-50 glucose fructose because it's from sugarcane. So I'll try and take some gels and course to balance that out, because the Morton is quite maltodextrin-y. And yeah, the sodium will have to come from those bottles on the aid station from the Precision Hydration. So I'll hope to hang on to these ones that I have at the start for as long as I can. And I think I might put an emergency gel or two in my spares kit as well. There's space in there for that. So yeah, plenty of options for the bike, because I'm expecting to lose some bottles.